Yo, what's up, guys? This is Big J ASC or Big J H-Town coming at you with a face-to-face video. It's been a while since I've done this, since I've been switching over to like making better quality videos with editing and whatnot. But I'm gonna shoot a couple discussion videos. I wanted to open up the discussion with what is the shoe that got you into the game? Like, what's the shoe that you remember when you were a young kid, or whenever, however age you were when you started liking shoes a lot, became a sneakerhead in your mind? What is the first shoe that, like, when you think back now, you're like, man, that was the first shoe that I got that I really like and I wish I could get it now? Because I know what it is for me, and it happens to be the Huarache. Not this exact colorway, but I was lucky enough to get this this colorway, which is very similar. My first, I'll have to go ahead and tell the story. It's probably about 8 years old, because when I first moved into this house. As you know, Houston, I went with my mom to Northwest Mall. It was the first time I needed an adult size. You know, I'm trying on shoes. I think it was Champs there at that mall. And I needed an adult size, and that really freaked my mom out a little bit. But, you know, my foot grew real fast. I'm a size 12 now. I've been a size 12 since I was like in 6th or 7th grade, pretty young. So, but I ended up getting almost this exact colorway, except if the blue was red, the strap was red, the inside was red, the pull tab, and the hits of blue on the midsole and the sock liner were all red. So it was white, gray, and red. And I found this colorway on eBay for a really good price, and they're in good condition considering that it's a 2003, I believe, shoe. Yeah, 2003. The colorway that I had was a 2002. It came out a year before these. I found them on eBay, but for like $300. I'm not about to do that, so settled for these, and I'm loving them. You can still see it still has the Nike Air intact on there. You know, it's yellowing on like the sole. It's just kind of turning it darker in this mesh. But let me tell you. So for me, when I got that shoe, I did not become a sneakerhead when I got that shoe. But I think I really became a sneakerhead. I've always been like slowly progressing, and I think when I became a sneakerhead, like for real, was when I saw a version of this shoe on somebody's feet when I was in a line camping for the Year of the Rabbits. So I'm gonna tell that story. So I've always liked shoes, and I got into the skate shoe deal, you know, because I was a skateboarder. I would just get as many shoes as I could. I'd go to Ross and get all types of S and America and Fallen and stuff like that. I used to skate my shoes up. Man, I used to tear them up. Anyway, I got more into the collecting of the SBs and the collecting of other kicks like Supras and stuff like that. And I had a friend who turned me on to the idea of like, yo, when limited shoes come out, if we camp out for them, we can flip them for a good price. I'm just being honest, guys. I've really been going through a lot in my mind about reselling now, and I think differently about it than I did then. At the time, I just thought, well, they're limited, and if I can flip them, I can flip them. So, waited in line for the Year of the Rabbit Jordans. I had never bought a pair of Jordans at retail before, so I waited with my friend. It's the only time I've ever waited and got one pair and just to flip it, and it wasn't even my size. So I ended up getting a pair of 9.5, and it was like $185 retail at Premium Goods, and I flipped them for $400 after a little while. So that's just the truth of that story. But while I'm in line, you know, you're talking with the sneakerheads, and you're finding out how small you are in the game, you know, because there's a guy in front of us who's holding down 3 spots. He's got a Premium Goods tattoo, got tons of Jordans. He's a sneakerhead. He's a Jordan head anyway. So I'm telling him, yeah, I don't even really mess with Jordans. I got more SBs, and I'll start telling him what I had. Anyway, this guy walks out. It was just around the time that this version, the 2011 Huarache, had just retroed. He had on the black and gray colorway, and they looked sick, and I saw that shoe, and I thought, man, I remember that shoe. That was my first pair. I'm telling my friend, he didn't care. He's like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. People just hyping over it because it's comfortable, which nobody cared when this shit retroed. And I wish at the time I had like stopped caring about getting the shoes to flip them. And the Kamikazes came out. They still had these in stores. All I could think about waiting for the Swiss Beat Kamikazes was looking at this shoe on the wall. Not this colorway, but the Huarache on the wall, and thinking, I have to get I'd rather spend my money to flip at that time, because I don't think I was. But seeing this shoe and having it come back out really brought me back to my roots of like, I love sneakers and I want to cop them because I love them. So this is the shoe that started for me, the Huarache, more closer to like this type. And man, having them both in hand, you can really see the difference of the quality of like the Huarache sock liner itself and just the leather and stuff. This is still pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. This is pretty good. I was able to get this on sneakerhead.com for like 75, 60 bucks, something like that. Which, man, that site really does have bad prices. If you watch Bionic Soul's videos on the Jordans, they're just crazy. But you can still shop on that site and get stuff for good prices. So this is the shoe I wanted to show and talk about. What shoe got you into the game? As far as like what shoe got me into my niche in the sneaker game, which is Nike SBs, that's a really hard question for me because since I got into the Nike SBs to skating and not to collect, my first SB was a classic. It was a maroon and brown colorway. I'll try to flash a picture. That was the first SB I ever bought, but I just bought it to kind of it was a size 13. It was really big. Classics run big already, so I did just kind of buy it to wear, but I ended up skating in it and stuff. It had a nice gum sole, which I love, and it's great for skating. So I don't know what the first SB that I really bought just to like collect and rock and keep like a sneakerhead. But I do know the first shoe, like the really hot shoe, like that I love now, that I got, the Huarache. And I do know the first SB I ever copped, and I know that I've loved SBs ever since, and I have a good collection. So I just wanted to open up the topic of what shoe got you guys into the game. What was your first shoe? What's the shoe that you love now that you remember back in the day? And just like elaborate on your stories like I did, because I don't feel it's just as simple as like, yep, that's the shoe that got me into the game. I mean, sometimes it may be, but for me, since I got into it because of skating, it's a little different. But you know, I just wanted to touch on that, and I'm going to make another video about the term rate prices, so stay tuned for that. I'll probably just make it after this, or maybe I'll think it out a little bit first and then do it. But this has been Big J H Town coming at you, or Big J ASC coming at you guys with a couple of pairs of Huaraches. Let me know if you want to see reviews on either of these, or hear like me talk about them in a little more detail. But yeah, this is my this is one of my all-time favorite shoes. I just love the silhouette and the way that it looks. Not so crazy about how it looks on my feet, but I love rocking them. So here's the Huarache. Alright guys.